But I think Ugandans don't just want a competition between the new stock and the old stock. They want the right stock. Even if you are new, if you are the wrong stock, you are not going to help people. Like I read somewhere, those of us who have been in politics for long and those who are new, we should not be fighting. Because when you start a fight between the present and the past, you lose the future. All of us are focusing on the future. Our focus is not what is going to happen on the 25th. Our focus is what sort of parliament we shall have in the 5 years. Friends, is either going to make me or unmake me. Whatever I'm going to say here is either going to make me or unmake me. But whatever I'm going to say here is true. And whatever I'm going to say here is what I believe to be true. Nga njogedde ku Rolls Royce. Nagamba abantu bakoze sente zaabwe, begulidde amamotoka, kati lwaki obawalana? Ate gwe nalabye nga yasoose wo both. Ng'amuwaana nga bw'ali omuntu ali humble. That you should prepare only popcorn. And you see, mulabe mawo bwafiira mu movie ye. Kati start afa. Ekyo mukimanyi? Start afa. Ne bwafa tavunda. Ne bwavunda tawunya. You heard what the president said in Kyakoze. And the president is not only the president of Uganda, he is also the chairman of the ruling party, National NRM. But people are responding to all sorts of messages from all sorts of quarters. Fortunately, all these things are undressing people. By the time this week is over, Ugandans will know who exactly can lead them. To send a message to Al-Shabaab to stop. Why is UPDF being praised? All these regions have armies. All of them have spokespersons who were condemning Al-Shabaab. But it is the UPDF which said, this must end. We can't go on like this. Let's go. And they stormed Somalia. What did they do? They took action. You can also condemn corruption while watching TV. You can also write an article. You can be a commentator. You know, I used to have a guard. Long ago, there was a guard. You know these guards with arrows? I had a guard. At that time, we had a son who was still a baby. So one day the guard came and said, "Boss, a snake has entered the garage. This is the person I employ to guard my home." He is instead giving a situation report. Instead of telling me, a snake entered, I killed it. Because that's his job. He looked for me and said, a snake has entered the garage. In the garage, we had a pile of wood. Obviously, there's no way we would find the snake. Remember, he is the guard. I had to start telling him, snakes don't like the smell of petroleum products. Take this money and buy some little diesel. Come and pour it over the pile of wood. The snake will come out. That's how the snake came out, and we killed it. But in the meantime, We were worried. What if the snake has entered the bedroom where our baby was sleeping? Ladies and gentlemen, action is what makes a difference, not commentators. Everybody has condemned the rot in Parliament. I accept that. And I give credit to those who have exposed it, particularly the civil society. The exhibitionists, the activists on social media, those who have been on X Spaces and so on. But those who are making this statement are saying Mao has not played any unique role. Indeed, even the president, we have now seen letters where the president has been ordering investigations. Between leaders and masqueraders. So, people are eating their words. Comedians are having a field day. I saw one pretending to be making phone calls on behalf of the PA of the former speaker, calling all her great friends, and the phones are either busy or they are not available. Others are now trying to do what you call revisionism. They are trying to sanitize. They are saying, what has Mao done anyway? Every Ugandan has been in this struggle. It is not just Mao. I won't argue with that. They are saying Mao has not done anything over and above what Ugandans have done. I've been hearing that, I've been seeing it. Because there are those who think I like Butala. I have enough Butala. Under Article 1F, which is the principles of the corporation, we stated that the parties commit to working in the best interests of Uganda and Ugandans, working to honor the national motto, for God and my country, and building and maintaining public confidence in the integrity of governance processes. So, who has the final say in the matter of who becomes speaker? I'm asking these questions because if you ask the wrong questions, then you'll definitely get the wrong answer. I've already said logically that there is a crisis. If you're very sick, are you going to ask about the political party, the tribe, or the religions of confidence? So, I am not NRM, given. I am DP. DP is a historical party, the oldest party in Uganda, with a clear history and clear principles. And I also want to be on the right side of history. As a matter of fact, I'd rather be on the right side of history than to be the speaker. There was, and there is now evidence of, abuse of office. Everybody condemned the abuse, but nobody threatened to remove the office from the abuser of the office, except Nobart Mao. Nobody threatened that office more than Mao. There were others, of course, who stepped forward and they spoke a lot of things, but my candidature was the most serious and the most credible. In the same way that in 1980-81, there were many forces that tried to take on the UPC government. But there was one which was most serious and most credible. What my candidature offers is a sharp contrast to the false dichotomy that members of opposing parties are disjoint sets. Instead, my candidature offers a choice for us to move forward together as partners to achieve the promise of a new Uganda, united, free, peaceful, and prosperous. To my friends in the NRM and to President Museveni, let us reclaim the spirit of 1986. Because at this point, we cannot afford to improvise. Why do I speak of the spirit of 1986? In 1986, the NRM and the DP were in a partnership. That partnership lasted for 10 years. That partnership was not accidental. After all, the party that had been cheated was DP. It was not UPM. The UPM did not have votes to steal.
To protect it.
They even only got one member of parliament. Today we are being laughed at that we have 6 members of parliament. Please read your history also. The majority of those who died in the war that brought the NRM into power were DPs. Those skulls and bones in Luwero are DPs. Sometimes I'm shocked by how recklessly the DP members talk. Because they're only looking at Mere ya lero. I see them on TV. Mao yafuna anze safuna. Am I the one who gives the position? Mao ya agabe before. If I were the one appointing ministers, you would blame me. But instead of that, Nobart Mao do, which went beyond the analysis and comments. The problem we were dealing with was the problem of an individual occupying an office. There was a need for somebody to threaten that office in a credible manner. You all know Newton's first law. A body will continue in the same state of motion until another force acts on it. So the same state of motion was going to continue in Parliament. You saw the endorsements. Even those who are now saying they are now opposing the corruption. Unfortunately, the internet doesn't forget. Imagine their grandchildren. You know, we have now known the 2 categories of politicians, the vertebrates and invertebrates. You remember your biology lesson?
Yes.
Invertebrates are the what? Those without a spine and a backbone. Ebisani. And those that can stand straight with a backbone. So now, when you are looking at a politician, first ask yourself, is this one an invertebrate or a vertebrate? The same applies for speaker. You need a speaker who is an invertebrate or a vertebrate. Again, back to physics, there was inertia. Do you know how much force you need to overcome inertia? I didn't do it alone, but I had to step forward and say, let's go. Someone must say, let's go. We provided the spark. So, to stop this business of bringing mwana wa koja, mwana wa jaja, there must be a minimum of qualification for personal assistants and researchers. Yeah. And we will make sure the resources are there. But when you're a member of parliament, you go to the village and they say, Mwana Wasenga is there, has no job. Take him to parliament. Then the only job they do is go and bring this money from the bank. Go and do this. After 5 years, what experience have they got which can make them employable? Zero. As party president, I'm proud that I've brought people to be my assistants. I've mentored them. You remember Elvis Kintu. I could not afford to keep him. Eventually, the Lord Mayor stole him. Went and assisted him. I've mentored so many others. You must get people who have potential, not people who are stuck in the village. If they are stuck in the village, first prepare them before bringing them. You cannot bring them immediately. We are also going to ensure that documents of parliament are translated in local languages. Yeah. Parliamentary reports should be translated into local languages. You've seen how the election of speaker has become a national issue. Since when has the election of speaker become an issue for everybody? But now the vegetable sellers, borders, taxi touts, all of them are saying this issue of speakership, because we have made it we have made it clear to them that the kind of person elected speaker will determine the kind of Uganda we will have. Correct. Yeah. We will ensure that the gallery is open again. As you know, the gallery, members the Ugandans don't know that they actually are entitled to go to the gallery. We should have a fixed number of people who can come and access the gallery on a first-come, first-served basis. Those days we used to walk from Makerere, and they would give you little cards. If the cards are finished, they tell you the gallery is now full, try tomorrow. So people would go and queue. Have you seen people queuing to go to the gallery? People are queuing to go and beg for support from MPs. They are not interested in the discussion because they doubt whether it can change their lives. So the most important thing is, but somebody would say, I want to go and see whether the Mbaka is going to increase PDM money access to ensure that corruption stops in the district, or whether my school will get a teacher's house or a new classroom. People are not interested. That's why we said, make Parliament great again. So these are some of the ideas that we have put in place based on the experience that I have. I want to conclude by once again encouraging the members of the 12th Parliament don't have any sense of entitlement. But I believe in destiny. So today, I want to say that no one has the final word. Even God, by the way, still has something to say about this speakership. Yes. And he's going to speak. And God can whisper into important ears the truth. And he's going to do it. God still has a statement to make about this. I told you this before, because you people were looking like those armies that faced Goliath. I even told you about David and Goliath that day here. But you are not listening because you are terrified. You are looking with fear. And I defined for you what fear is. That fear means false evidence appearing real. F-E-A-R. Haven't you proved that it is now right? All the money was actually false evidence. All these material things was false evidence. all the endorsements were false evidence appearing real. But for you, you are thinking that that is the reality. But it was only appearing to be the reality. I have preached from this podium. Sometimes I feel like a pastor. But Ugandans don't listen. What is truly mine will come to me in due course. My destiny will unfold. Because destiny indicates a destination, and it is a matter of time. And what is truly mine will be that place which is the best for me. To our allies in the NRM, the speakership is not just a matter for the NRM, it's not just a matter for the members elected to the 12th Parliament, it's a matter for all citizens. Since the MPs represent the citizens, they cannot ignore the public sentiment. I'm calling upon all Ugandans from now onwards, call your member of parliament and tell them to vote for Mao. If differently, we remained steady. I was like a lion leading the hunt, tackling a fierce beast. Of course, the hyenas and jackals were taking cover, because you're watching how the fight is going first. Because if the lion does not win the fight, then what can you, a hyena, do? While the lion fought, the hyenas were taking cover, showing their faces once in a while to see how it is going.